welcome to the second instalment of the Manchester is Blue vlog. Hope you enjoy it. Today we've got myself, Tom, we've got Fielden, Dave and Dan. Hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
You got that. Dan, are you sponsored by Nike tonight, pal?
Yeah, mate.
You need to get a Puma one this year, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, no, I need to upgrade myself.
I love it. Fantastic. Dan, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a Blue?
Well, I've been a Blue all my life. My dad were a Blue. He started taking me main road and what have you. I've had a season ticket. I had a season ticket for 16 years, but due to the birth of my first son, I've had 2 years off, not by choice. Tried to get a season ticket this year, but they were sold out. I helped run Doncaster Supporters Club. Like I say, we've all chipped in and bought a minibus together, so we all go together like it's good laugh and that. And yeah, that's about it really. Just mad on City.
Have you got the bus decorated in Doncaster Blues?
Yeah, we've got a sticker we take off because you don't never know who.
I was going to say. Yeah. I remember my dad taking me to Anfield many moons ago, and I left a program on the back windscreen, on the back parcel shelf. Needless to say, the two tires were slashed and the back window was put in. So that was the last time I did that. So yeah, don't blame me there, pal. How about you, Dave? You're our resident Yank.
I am well, that's what everyone says anyway. Yeah, so Manchester or Hyde, more to the point, born and bred. I moved over to the US 15 years ago now, but hopefully I've not lost my accent too much. Very much the same as Dan. I've been a Blue all my life. It's my dad who got me into it. All my family's from East Manchester, which tends to be more Blue side. So I was looking it up before. My first game was December 4th, 1982. So I'm aging myself a little bit. Tommy Caton, 2 headers from Dennis Stewart corners. And I was just absolutely hooked from there. So when I got a little bit older, 92, until 2004, I was a season ticket holder, Kipax, then North Stand, and then I thankfully got one season in at the Etihad before I moved over to the States in 04. So I've got to say it's easier nowadays to follow City than it was 15 years ago when I moved to the States. That it was so difficult when I moved over here, but NBC Sports now, and it's just grown so much over here that I actually get to see home and away games, League Cup, Champions League pretty easily here, probably more easily than I would do back in England. So
fantastic. Is it like on the free channels? I don't know the American telly. Is it like the free channels you watch it on, or is it like paid for like Sky or?
It's not really like Sky. So NBC own the rights to Premier League games in the US, and then you have to have NBC Sports, which is kind of like one of the cable packages that you'll get.
Yeah.
So you go on. It doesn't really cost you any more. But what they've started doing now, because they've got really wise to it, and it's growing so much, is they now do NBC Sports Gold. So every Premier League game is played on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday live, and then they pick 4 games that they put on Gold, which you actually have to pay for, and that's like about $60 a season or something like that. So it's not too bad. City haven't had any games on Gold yet, but it's coming because obviously we're one of the more popular teams to watch, and people are willing to pay the money to watch them. So,
yeah, who do you think are the big teams over in America then for football?
I've got to be honest with you. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Blue. It's City, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
And obviously that other team in the outskirts of Manchester are quite popular as well.
Salford City, Salford.
Yeah, Liverpool are obviously getting a bit of press, but I think what helps is the Timbers, Portland Timbers. I live in Portland, Oregon, are pretty well supported here. They fill out their stadium, which 25,000-30,000 every week. Like there's a good support here, so I like to think they know the football a little bit here because this is the Nike headquarters as well. So we're very used to sport being here. So.
That's fantastic. We better jump to it, lads. What do you think about the game the other day? Obviously, a bank holiday one, so I'm sure you were all sober watching that one.
I'll go first on that. I was pretty surprised that I think we get carried away now with the level of football that we get to see now. It's just an absolute joy. to watch it. It's PlayStation football, I think I said on a post the other day. But that for me was a disappointing performance that we didn't pass the ball very well. I thought De Bruyne was off the pace a little bit. I've never seen De Bruyne actually hit a bad pass, and 5 or 6 times he didn't get the ball to a teammate, which really surprised me. And I think, I'm not sure who it was who mentioned it, Kieran or maybe one of the Dans kind of pointed out, it was really only when Rodri came on for me that we actually started playing our normal game and we're winning those balls in midfield and we're creating more chances. I'll take the 3 points, but wasn't the greatest performance for me.
It's funny how Rodri seemed to anchor the midfield, didn't he? And I don't know what it was, but he almost, in that defensive midfield, made us more attacking, which is obviously Pep's wisdom kicking in there.
Yeah. I think that will be an eye opener for Pep for me. That he needs. It's obviously the way that we play. We need a defensive midfielder. We need a Fernandinho, and we need a Rodri. We need someone there to shore up that defense. It's just the way it is. It's just the way we play our best. So I think Gundogan played really well at the end of last season and kind of took that role pretty well, but it's not his natural position. He's an attacking midfielder, and I think he struggled at the weekend to do that because Bournemouth took it to us a little bit. I think they were strong, they were physical, and you saw Edison panic, which he never does. You saw Walker panic. And it was really only when Rodri came on for me that we just settled down as a team and we played our natural game.
Do you think Fernandinho now, in his place in the role, he's obviously, I say he's getting on, crikey, he's still a fantastic footballer. Is he going to have the company type role? We'll wheel him out for the big games then? Do you think that's where he fits into our team now? And Rodri's going to be play the majority of the games and Fernandinho play the main ones?
I think it's just squad rotation, and that's it basically. I think Pep knows what he wants to play. I mean, we'll be getting onto it later, but Brighton, I think we're gonna have players starting who haven't started. I'm thinking Foden, Mahrez maybe. Do you know what I mean? It's just, if we're going for all 4 trophies this season, you've got a squad. We've got to rotate. You've got to give Fernandinho a break. I mean, last season he was too vital to us, and I like to say, got a bad injury. Gundogan did slip in well. Like Dave said, he didn't really step up this weekend, but in a way, is he thinking, well, I don't want to play that role again? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He might have thought, no, I'm like attacking midfielder, really, innit? But I just think it's down to squad rotation, that's all. I don't think Fernand's just going to be left out. I just think in Pep we trust, you know what I mean? I'll just go with anything he says.
Yeah. It's funny that I saw the stat that De Bruyne got did he match or beat the record for 50th assists in 120 games? 120
quickest player to do it or something.
Yeah, he's the quickest player. And for me, nothing will ever beat that goal he laid on for Zane against Stoke. That assist was, I've never seen anything like that in my life. To lay it on a plate like that was just incredible.
Just a weird vision he's got, isn't it? To be able to do these things, it's phenomenal.
Well, that cross he did against Spurs was absolutely onto Sterling's head of all people. Right, didn't need to jump or anything. It was just in his stride, bang. It's just phenomenal. Like, I've got to say, he has got everything about him. He's a phenomenal player. He can win the ball. He wins headers, pass it, shoot, score, tracks back. You know, he's just got everything. He's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's got the Ronaldo, isn't he? You know, he's the future captain for me. I mean, I think it was a couple of seasons ago where he lost his head a little bit after a game and he was saying, let me go talk to the ref and everything like that. But that aside, when Vinny left, I think Fernandinho will be a big voice, but De Bruyne for me, without a doubt, is going to be City's captain next year. All the lads look up to him. He's got that mentality, and like Dan said, he can do everything on the pitch. And you need someone like that. You need someone to manage every part of that pitch. And he's got the voice, he's got the talent, really.
I think, like you said, Silva being captain, I think it's more of a token gesture, if I'm brutally honest. Not get me wrong, he's a brilliant player, but I do think it's more like, because it's his last year.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
The least we can do in it for him.
Yeah. I mean, I love the bloke, but I wouldn't have ever thought he was captain material, and that's not being harsh to him. But he don't look like the player that's going to be in the dressing room shouting at you and that, is he? Do you know what I mean? He's not that type of player.
It just seems different to Vincent Kompany, doesn't he? Personality-wise, he just quietly goes about his business and gets the job done.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I can't imagine what it was like in that dressing room if you dropped a bollock and Kompany were on it. Yeah,
you don't want that, do you?
No.
Yeah, I got to say, with Kompany, you know, I know I talked about this a lot with you lot, but when they were out here doing their pre-season training at Nike, so I think this would have been Kompany's 2010. That was his second season, I think, that he was starting with City. He was still a young lad then, 23, 24. I mean, I watched him for 2 weeks at pre-season over at the Nike headquarters, and he was hammering every player there. You know, in Mancini's face as well. And I was scared of Mancini. He had a face of thunder for 2 weeks. Like he knew that he had to win something that season. And Kompany was just at everyone at seasoned professionals. You know, Colo was there. You know, Joe Hart was in his pomp by then. He was just hammering every player who was there and telling them to get out of his face. It's just, you just knew. I think when I got my photo with him 10 years ago and posted it, I said, this guy's captain material, because he just had something about him. He had this air of leadership about him 10 years ago.
Do you think we'll miss that?
Yeah.
I think we'll miss that, such as the Liverpool game, the Leicester game from last year. I'm hoping De Bruyne and but it's something you can't train, is it? You can't just say, right, you're going to do it now. It's going to be built into you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
That, like, I don't know what to call it, winning mentality, or... I mean, like, I don't know if you've seen, like, Shevchenko were crying when he told him he was leaving. I mean, another footballer crying when they tell you you're leaving, that shows you the impact he has in that dressing room.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I know I don't want to harp on about Liverpool too much, but, you know, I think the player, I think we all know I'm talking about, Van Dijk. If he would have come in, he would have been a ready-made leader, captain, man mountain. What an aura he seems to have about him, and he's built as well, isn't he? And I love that type of captain. I don't know what type of captain De Bruyne will be. I know he's quite get around the business, but he doesn't seem to be that kind of dominating, kick you up the arse when needed. I might be completely wrong. You know, I don't see him every day in training, but I don't know. There just seems to be something about the certain type of character of captain I like that De Bruyne or Van Dijk is, and I don't think we've got that at the minute.
No.
Well, hey, Anna, what's your thoughts about Brighton this weekend then?
Easy 3 points for me, but I'm hoping for a good performance. I think if Pep goes back to the defensive midfielder, which I think he will, I can't see anything but a City win. But again, I'm hoping for a nice 90 minutes of football. Let's get VAR involved. Let's just score our goals, and let's put in a really, really good performance before we go into the international break. I've got Sterling in my fantasy team, so let's get some points on the board.
Oh, triple captain this week, maybe.
Yeah.
Then. What about you, Fielden? What do you reckon?
It's a tricky one, isn't it? They're a bit topsy-turvy so far in the opening 3 games, right? They can have a really poor half a game, and then the next game, you think they're Barcelona. You know, they're a weird team. They have been the past 2 seasons. But I agree with Dave. I think it's an easy 3-pointer, but we have to step it up. I think it's about time we showed City quality last season. The Spurs game showed we were a bit complacent in front of goal. 30 shots on target, 30 shots even on target, and only 2 goals, and it cost us that game in the Bournemouth game. It wasn't us, you know. Like Dave said, when Rodri came on, changed the game. But we shouldn't have to rely on one player to play the City way. We've been playing that for the past 3 seasons now, and I think Brighton is the kickstart there. I think Brighton will show exactly the form we played last season. I think we'll go for quite a big win this weekend. I really do believe it. Okay. Gutted about Jesus. I think he would have been prime candidate to start this game, and he's been in such good form in the opening couple of games. It's a shame he's got that hamstring injury.
Is he definitely out this weekend?
I think he's out until after the international break.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what Pep said, hasn't it?
Can you see Sterling going up front then?
I think Aguero will start. Sterling on left. I think he'll start Mahrez. I'm almost certain he's going to start Mahrez, if I'm honest. And I do get what you're saying about playing Rodri, but I'm not being funny. We should be tearing Brighton apart. Do you know what I mean? I'd honestly, I'd like to see Foden get a bit of game time.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Start him again. If he's going to step up, he's got to start playing against the weaker Premier League teams. Do you know what I mean? We can't just be relying on Cabero Cup or whatever it's called to get him to start.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly predicting 4-0 and Kevin De Bruyne to score first. You've heard it here first.
Nice. You got Kevin De Bruyne in your fantasy team as well?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So, prediction-wise, what do you reckon? I don't do predictions because I don't do that. I'm a bit superstitious. What about you two? Do you two? What score do you reckon?
8-0 win. Sorry, someone's got to say it.
The way that we've played, someone's going to get an absolute battering, and it really could be Brighton this weekend. If we learn from where we went wrong at the weekend, which Pep always does, he just knows, doesn't he? He takes any mistake that any of his players or his team has made, and he corrects it for the following week. I can't see anything but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-0.
Keep an eye out on the disciplinary, though. I mean, the beginning of that Bournemouth game, shambles at the back. I mean, Walker, he's started the season fantastic, but some of he's lucky to be on the pitch. Really, wasn't it? The 2 challenges he made, he got 1 yellow. He should arguably have got a 2nd yellow. He was a very lucky boy. But you never know, it might be a game even where Cancelo comes in to give Walker a bit of a rest. But then again, he's not.
Do you know what? That's not a bad shout, actually. That's not a bad shout.
I was going to say that and all. I've got that written down here and all. I think maybe something we don't know about with Walker. He might have had a knock. That's why he's not meant England team.
Yeah.
Because he can play right back. He can play centre back. So why wouldn't? I mean, you look at that England team at back. It's absolutely appalling.
Yeah.
So there might be a reason why he's not been picked in it that we don't know about. Do you know what I mean?
You're right there.
Southgate plays a back 3, doesn't he? And about 3 or maybe even 4 of those centre backs that are in the squad aren't even anywhere near the calibre Walker is. When he plays centre back, he's not even a centre back. Phenomenal for England.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how they do. It really is. But Foden, how Foden's not. What was it you said, Dan, before? Who was it you said that shouldn't have been in the England squad?
Lingard.
That's the one,
Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Last 2 seasons, the Lingard has in my view.
The only thing is with Foden, and Southgate's right, they can't justify picking him if he's not even getting anywhere near the squad.
No.
And I'm not one of them that he thinks. I don't think you need to rush him into it, but I do think
he needs the game time, doesn't he?
He needs a bit of something, a bit of confidence. You know what I mean?
But it's like the post I put on about him on the page this morning. Everyone commenting, Pep saying he's the most talented player he's ever come across, and yet he isn't getting the game time. But Brighton game, he should start for me in the Brighton game. He needs a game. He needs a full 90 minutes of Premier League football and do his better.
No, you're right. I can't wait for that day till he gets called up to the England squad proper. That's going to be an amazing day. I remember Sean Wright-Phillips and Mickey Richards getting called up for England. And it was like that was like the best weekend ever. It's like I can't wait to watch England.
Did he score Richards in his debut, or I think he scored?
Won it, yeah.
I
think he might have done.
Game after,
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Manchester's right wing of England. It was amazing. We should have seen the good times ahead there, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing! But obviously with Silva's 400th appearance, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And obviously this is going to be his twilight season now till he goes back to probably back to Spain. Do you reckon?
Las Palmas, isn't it?
Las Palmas, I think. Just magician for me. I don't care what anyone says. He is the greatest player to ever put on his City shirt. He really is. He's just from a pure footballing standpoint. He's just something else. I'm not taking anything away from a Colin Bell or Billy Meredith, or anything like that. All these amazing players we've had in the past, but he is just He's just on another level. He's just absolutely incredible and humble with it as well.
Yeah, you're right there. He looks like the type of lad you can go out for a meal with, and he's not going to be a dick about it. He's just going to be sit down, have a great chat. He could just talk for ages about football. And I love the fact he just gets on with it and does his stuff. And it's my favourite player has always been Kinkladze. But when Silva started to shine through, it was like, oh, what a player. We're so lucky to see him in a City shirt. So lucky. I say that to my nephews. Nephews are 10 and 14. Every time we go to a City with him, I was like, you've no idea how lucky you are. I was like, yeah, Uncle Tom, we know, yeah, but you don't understand how lucky you are to see this.
He's not a cheeky Masamba.
It's true for me that Barcelona, their fans can look back and say, I saw Xavi and Iniesta and obviously Messi, but for us to be able to say that we had one of the top 10 midfielders probably of all time in a City shirt for 10 years, it's just absolutely phenomenal. And he's been so loyal when, a few people have posted that when he left Valencia, he could have gone to Barcelona, or he could have gone to Real Madrid. And he came to us, and he's been humble with it, and he's been loyal, and he's been rewarded.
He's one Premiership that made it any league in the world.
Oh,
yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
What would be if you're in David Silva's shoes now? It's the last game of the season. Obviously, he's going to get a hell of a fanfare. What's a good season for him this year?
Injury-free. Injury-free. No matter what he does this season, he can score one goal for the rest of the season. I don't think we're ever going to look back and say last season was a failure. He'll go down, no matter what he does this season, as for me, the greatest. I agree with Dave, the greatest ever. There's nothing he can do wrong this season for me. Even if he gets 10 red cards, I don't care. Embrace the look at him and watch him this season. He's been fantastic.
I mean, it'd be brilliant to see him lifting Champions League trophy, wouldn't it?
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
It would be amazing, that.
That would be nice.
I feel sorry for Vinny, but
you would, wouldn't you? Yeah.
I would, yeah, but he chose his path, didn't he? So
I firmly believe company should do a John Terry and come back.
Full kit.
Come and help him with full kit. Yeah, proper full kit. Go for it. Running on the pitch. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Let's hope we're in that position. Speaking of Champions League, not had a bad draw, have we?
Cracking one, haven't we?
I'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah.
A bit of travelling, but
yeah. Who was saying Atalanta's playing at the San Siro? Who was that?
Yeah, it's right.
I'd love to go to the San Siro.
Well, 80 quid flights at the minute. I've just been having a look.
Not that long. You need to
have to do it too as well, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, the old playing Shakhtar again. I mean, it's just. There should be a rule where you can't play the same team 3 years in a row, shouldn't there? I mean, it's just ridiculous.
What was the aggregate score? Was it 8-0 or 9-0? 9 was it last year? Bloody hell. Crikey.
Yeah, we know what's going to happen now. They're going to
1-0. Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. Well, you've got to be hopeful of going through their winners, haven't you, of that group?
Yeah.
I think if we've got any chances of winning the Champions League, we have to be smashing that group, don't we?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's end of the day. Last year, Liverpool won it, but they didn't start off on fire, did they? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Lost to Belgrade, didn't they? Did they look at Belgrade? Something like that. Anyway, Serbian teams. Do you know what I mean? It don't mean anything, that group stage. As long as you qualify, it's nothing, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. When's the first round of games? Do we know? Have they been announced yet?
Yeah, it's. I've had it written down and all. I can't remember.
Is it mid-September? It's sometime in September.
Yeah,
first one.
I know last game's 10th or 11th of December, because I'm hoping that's when we draw Atlanta.
I was going to say, your flights, haven't you?
Yeah.
Tuesday night in Italy. Yes, please.
Oh, brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, I think have you got anything else to say, chaps? I think we're nearly wrapped up.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it's gone well.
Happy with that. Yeah, thankfully, I'll mention VAR just a little bit and just more to the point.
No,
I just hope
I've got all
I
this.
just hope it doesn't.
No.
I hope it doesn't ruin the game at the weekend, because I think it's ruining a lot of games, and I just hope it doesn't. I hope we can just get 90 minutes through and score a couple of goals, and play isn't held up for 7 minutes while they're checking something. And my overriding concern is that it's going to get to the stage of us stopping every 2 minutes like bloody NFL football here, and it going at a commercial break while they check something. And that's my concern. I'm just hoping they get this figured out and we can just start playing nice 90 minutes of football and get on with it.
Yeah, VAR is sponsored by XYZ.
Yeah,
that's going to get to that stage. Yeah,
you can see it. That's the problem. I can see it. So there's money to be made there, isn't there? Speaking of money,
it's so inconsistent though, isn't it? I mean, our goal, handball against Spurs. Rightfully, I mean, there's a lot of people that disagree with me, but I rightfully believe that was a handball. The new rules are there. It's got to be implemented. But Bournemouth game, we should have had a penalty. Why are they focusing on that tiny little touch of the hand that led to the goal, but not a clear and obvious foul that they can look at, and not give it? It's
ridiculous.
Trial and error in it, but even though that's a massive error for 2 games with the same team to have decisions going one way and the other, I'm not a fan of it. I was a fan for it to be introduced, but the way it's been this year, I think they should easily take it out just to give it another year.
Yeah, I was the same as you, bud. I was the same as you.
I do hope, though, and I really do hope that VAR has an absolute shocker at Arsenal v Spurs and disallows an Harry Kane hat-trick.
It's nice to happen for Spurs now, isn't it? Christ.
Yeah, I was buzzing when they didn't get that penalty.
Kane's face was a picture.
Yeah.
What a shame. Diddums, lad. Speaking of money, we seem to be getting not loads of grief, but there's a couple of fans on there thinking that City United should have been putting their hands in their pockets to help Bury out. And obviously, there's usual legalities behind doing that. What do you think about that?
Nah, definitely not. Without a doubt, no. Because it's not our fault. Don't get me wrong, I feel bad for the fans. It's awful to see, even as a neutral, it's awful to see a club go out of business. But we gave them a training ground, for Christ's sake. It's not, how many clubs can say that? I mean, fair enough, we spent a lot of millions on building a new one. But how many clubs in that lower division get a Premiership league-winning team giving their training ground? And they abused it, in all fairness. Because anyone can say what they want, they abused it.
Yeah.
But that owner messed it up. Financial troubles, they were always bound to go under. I'm surprised Bolton just survived. But how many teams have gone out of business and brought back as someone else? I mean, it might even be the best thing for them to start fresh and build a new reputation and actually concentrate on what's important.
They've got about 3,000, was it 3,500 fans that go there every week, and if they're going to have some kind of Phoenix club, they're in a good position to start again. I just hope they can keep the ground and do something with it. But is it Steve Dale? What's his name? Steve?
Yeah.
Steve Dale. Yeah. If he owns it, then he's going to sell it, isn't he? If you were him.
He's a bit of a. Listen to the Talk Sport interview with him and the captain. I think he's so far up his own backside he don't even realise what's happening.
Did you see the interview the other day where he said he didn't even know Bury had a football club before he bought it and things along those like that? I don't know.
He said he's never even been to it or something, didn't he?
What are you saying? I don't. It's scary.
Yeah, that's where the Football League needs to vent it better, don't they? They can't just be going, oh yeah, he's got a bit of money to him. I think it was something like he's owned 23 companies and 21 of them has been liquidated because of financial trouble. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, Dan's exactly right. Why wasn't EFL looking at this more closely when they, they're supposed to do these correct and proper checks or whatever they're called? Why didn't that come up? I've read this morning that I think a few of the Bury players and staff are going to sue EFL, and I think quite rightly that, why did you allow this to happen for us? I think they were basically saying Steve Dale came in, paid them 1 week's wages and that's been it. He's not paid them since. You know, why weren't EFL checking into this before they allowed him to buy the club? I feel desperately sad for them, but it's not our responsibility. You know, we gave them a ground, and I nearly kind of posted about it, but I didn't really want to start World War III. That you know, if the Nevilles are so big into Bury, these are multi-millionaires. You know, Gary Neville in particular, he's the bloody Donald Trump of Manchester. He's trying to build stuff all over the place. Well, if it's that big a deal to him, why doesn't he support his own time club and do something about it? Because he did it with Salford City.
Yeah.
So why don't he do it with Bury, which
moves to one side now into Salford?
Yeah, that Salford thing's a bit dodgy, isn't it? It's like they only own like 5% each, don't they? All class of 92, and it's like a Malaysian millionaire or some billionaire owns the rest of it. I mean, that's dodgy. That's financial fair play. That's what they should be looking into, isn't it? Not us.
Yeah, I am just surprised that they didn't, because the Neville brothers have been talking about Bury for 20 plus years. I'm just surprised that they didn't try and do more about it when they knew this was going on.
It's like the rumours when Oasis were thinking about buying City. Do you remember that back in the day?
I do remember that.
There you go.
It'd be a different pub now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. God, now they're going in dressing rooms afterwards. Brilliant. But, we'll wrap up there, lads, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, sound.
Brilliant.
How's the just to one side? How's it been signal-wise, and can everyone hear everyone? Is that okay?
I didn't come across as a drunk Yorkshireman in this one, did I?
A bit, Dan, yeah.
No.
Timmy there, pal, a little bit.
It should be when connection's bad as well.
Oh, that was Tom being polite then, going, how's everybody find everybody?
I'm just wanting to see if everybody else heard the same thing as me.
I'm 5,000 miles away and it worked fine. But, do you know, we had an earthquake here this morning at 11 o'clock.
Bloody hell.
6.3 magnitude or something. So I'm about an hour from the Oregon coast. And apparently there was a 6.3 magnitude earthquake. I didn't feel anything here. What was it, 2.5 hours ago? But apparently we did.
That was the Glazers putting the hand in the pocket. That. Pleasure talking to you, lads. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Until we die.
See you later.
See you later.